That's Jax Baca and Mariah McGraw. Following showmanship will be our open class this morning, and I don't believe we have an open class, so we'll move right into our market.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Los Animas County Fair Sheep Show. We are beginning the day with showmanship. So these are your senior showmen. Then following this will be intermediate showmen. And in the ring right now, we have Alec Baca, Connor McGraw, and Hope Vernier. Joining me on the microphone today is Brody Doherty. How you doing, Brody?
Doing good. I'm excited for a fun week of county fair. I've already been here for 2 nights and just watching over things, and should be a fun one.
Yeah, Brody is the security detail here at the Los Animas County Fair, keeping all those animals safe from predators and ruffians throughout the night.
Yes,
Any
sir.
ruffians last night, Brody?
Well, you can never be too sure. I had to apprehend 1 horse and 4 raccoons a night ago. Just no, I'm just joking, folks. But no, it's all fun. But, you know, when you said we're starting with our sheep show showmanship, I said, that's a mouthful right there,
Sheep
Mr.
show
Brett.
showmanship. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, and you've got some definite skills.
I think this early in the morning, if I tried to say that 5 times fast, I would fall off this booth we're sitting in.
I don't know that it can be done without proper caffeination.
Indeed.
See if we can pull
And I
that
think
a
I'm
little
just
bit.
a little bit lacking in that department, unfortunately, this morning. But that's all right.
And we just got set up this morning, kind of have a newer setup for our broadcast this year. Oh.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank the Los Animas crew for having me out to judge. We get started here today with senior showmanship, and it's extremely competitive. All 3 of these individuals do an outstanding job. We get out here, and there's one of them that just really is so smooth in the way that they control their animal. They always gave me the looks that I was looking for. They gave themselves plenty of space, and they were just really intense about the way that they got the job done. The young lady here in the middle will be your champion.
That was Hope Vernier taking first place in the senior showmanship class.
Congratulations to our senior sheep showmanship. Second place went to Alec Baca, and your senior sheep showmanship goes to Hope Vernier. Thank you.
Now we have our intermediate showmanship class. This is Jax Baca and Mariah McGraw in the ring right now.
Looks like we may have had a little bit of technical details to work out as Ms. Lori Arnold stepped into the ring for a second, just making sure our details are straight with these young showmen.
Yeah, we have a new setup this year, trying to bring you a direct feed with the judges' comments for you right here on the broadcast. So we have the microphone coming in, hopefully coming in loud and clear for you. The challenge is that we need to make sure that the judges' comments are not just clear for you at home, but they're also clear for everyone here at the county fair. Nice crowd here on a beautiful Thursday morning. But the challenge is, as we try to give you a little commentary, got to be careful that that doesn't come out on the live feed here, the speakers here at the Los Animas County Fair Pavilion. That would be kind of fun and interesting. Nice work here by these intermediate showmen. Again, we have Jack Spacca and Mariah McGraw in the ring right now.
You know, and Mr. Brad, this is our first of several shows that we'll be bringing your way today. We've got a triple header for you. We've got the sheep show right now, and we'll be followed by the goat show later this afternoon. And then I believe the beef show is the last of today, unless I'm terribly mistaken, which is prone to happen. But I believe that's our order of operations today.
Well, we get out here for our junior and intermediate showmen, and we're a little bit short on numbers, but that doesn't take anything away from the quality of the showman. Young man does a great job of staying poised whenever he gets at you on the move. I mean, just really, really smooth as he gets her going. Young lady here really does a good job of getting this sheep stuck when you got her on the rear view. Just congratulate the champion junior and intermediate showman here today.
I believe that is Jack Spacca getting the nod for the. Is the other way around?
I think it was the other way around.
Oh, the other way around. Kind of hard to tell who he designated as the first. Mariah McGraw coming away as the top intermediate showman.
Well, I think we'll get it figured out in just a second. They're getting everyone lined up for pictures. But I know he talked about Jack's first, but I think he shook Mariah's hand first. And in the world of fair showmanship, it could go either way.
Yes, Brody mentioned this is the first of 3 broadcasts, starting off with the sheep right now. Then we will have it scheduled to begin at 11 o'clock is going to be the goat show, which has become one of the most popular shows in terms of number of entries here at the Los Animas County Fair. That's scheduled to begin at 11, and then the cattle show scheduled to start at 5 o'clock later this afternoon. So.
Well, Mr. Brad, you know what I believe has happened? Now that they've got all 3 folks in the ring, I think Mariah McGraw was the champion intermediate showman, but Jack Spacca was the champion junior showman. So they were competing in 2 separate categories, but both were in the ring at the same time.
Well,
I could just be wrong.
It's just a challenging, confusing thing here. On the spreadsheet that I've been presented, it says that, oh.
Congratulations to our champion intermediate sheep showmanship, Mariah McGraw, and our champion junior sheep showmanship, Jax Baca. A big thank you to TK Rossetti for donating the champion senior showmanship prize, and a big thank you to Bill and Nancy Wilkinson and Wilkinson Gelbvieh Ranch in donating the champion intermediate showmanship. And thank you to Colorado Fence and Welding for donating the champion junior showmanship. Without those individuals, this would not be possible, so let's give them and our winners a round of applause.
Now we have Class 1 of our market sheep. This is Connor McGraw and Alec Baca with 2 lambs coming in at 104 and 116 respectively.
As we begin our market show, we have Connor McGraw and Alec Baca. Our Class 2 should be getting ready. Alec Baca, Jax Baca, and Hope Vernier. As we start our livestock shows this morning, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Los Animas County Fair. And I'd like for our county to give a nice warm welcome to Mr. Landry Miller, our judge today. Mr. Miller hails from Abernathy, Texas. He is a recent graduate from Clarendon, Texas, Clarendon College, located in Clarendon. He's headed to Texas Tech to study animal science. As a youngster, Landry started showing pigs at the age of 2. His family has raised hogs, and he's working very diligently and hard to keep the tradition alive. He also grew up showing sheep. In the past, he has been the high individual in swine at the American Royal, as well as the high individual in swine at the San Antonio Stock Show. In conclusion with his accolades here, he has also been the the second high individual in sheep at the San Antonio Stock Show. Mr. Miller, we welcome you and thank you for coming to Los Angeles County today.
There you go, folks. Got to learn a little bit about our judge today, Mr. Miller. On the fair microphone, that was Miss Tammy Mack, always a wonderful addition and supporter of Los Animas County 4-H. Connor and Alec, the Baca family and the McGraw family will have a couple of different entries here in the fair, especially here in this sheep show.
There's a really high quality set, a really high quality pair in our first class of market sheep here. The young man here in the green is going to win the class with this ewe. I think this one just pulls everything together better from the side. You get that one set up, and she's smoother in terms of the way she ties her pieces together. She's bolder through the center portion of her body, and set that one in motion. She holds her top line together, reads leveler about her hip. Not to take anything away from the young man in second here. I mean, this thing has some outreaching pieces. You get on top of that one, he is really, really descript in terms of his pattern over his rack and loin. That thing is stout-legged and big-footed. At the same time, I just don't think he blends everything together quite as well. He's just a touch rawer about his forerib, not as bold and opened up about his rib cage. Set that one in motion. He wants to get it just a touch rounder about his hip and a touch more rigid in terms of the way he uses his hind leg. Really high-quality pair of them. Let's congratulate these young men.
Oh, Tammy's about to go.
Congratulations to our Class 1 market sheep. Second place goes to Connor McGraw. First place to Alec Baca. Class 2, Alec Baca. Jax Baca. And rounding out the class will be Hope Vernier. Class 3 should be getting ready. Mariah McGraw and Alec Baca. Mr. Miller has asked that in conclusion of Class 3, we have the first and second place from each class come back to the ring. So if you are a first or second place from your class, make sure you will be ready to go in conclusion of Class 3 show.
So right in the ring now, you heard from Miss Mack. We've got Alec Baca, Jax Baca, and Hope Vernier. Alec Baca won that previous class. Both of the Baca lambs weighing in at 128 pounds. Hope's just 2 pounds heavier at 130. I believe Hope won the Grand Champion Sheep Show and Goat Show last year. It was a 1-2 sweep.
Indeed it was, and it speaks to the quality of the showman and the person raising those animals. You know, it's an impressive feat to win just one show, but seldom do you ever see someone win two.
I think it is always interesting to see the fluctuation in the number of entries from year to year. You know, we've seen an uptick in goat prospects over the last, 5 to 10 years, a slow and steady increase. Last year, it was a little more healthy, robust number of entries in the sheep show. Only 7 entries in the show this year in the market side of things.
Indeed, and it comes and it goes is just what animals are more popular than others. And one breed that's getting more popular is there's a lot of pigs this time around at the Los Angeles County Fair. The pig barn's more full than it usually is. And we're also seeing a few eclectic entries. We've got some turkeys and some more ducks in the fair barn as well, and that's always fun to see.
Now, zoom in on that middle lamb right there. Look at the hairdo they gave that one on the tuft. Maybe that's a new
around the
new
feet?
fashion. No, around the ears. Look at the cute little
would you look at that? I didn't quite see that.
fluffies
Yeah.
around the ears, and on Hope's as well. So Alec and Hope obviously up on the trends in the show
Oh,
sheep
no, for
world.
sure. Well,
That's
I mean,
pretty cool.
You know, because when you're thinking about market class, you want to accentuate the muscles and like the girth and the meat of the animal. I'm not sure what exactly that haircut's accentuating, but it definitely makes them look pretty.
Also in the ring today, not on camera a lot because she's holding her own camera. Miss J.C. Sumter is our official in-ring photographer this year. Appreciate her coming out. She was also one of last year's broadcast sponsors as part of the owner of Born Pretty Jewelry. kind of a cool thing that a business she's run over the last several years. Well, we haven't seen Judge Miller reorder there. He looks like he has given out his 3-2-1s.
Well, we get in here in the second class of our market lambs, and there's one that jumps out to me to go ahead and start this class. That's the young lady in the black. I mean, this one by far feeds the most shape over the top side of his skeleton, and you get in behind him, he's the most powerful one of the group. Still, you get him in motion and study him from the side. He reads plenty balanced and complete in terms of the way he's put together there. The young man in second has a ewe that I think still has some value in terms of boldness of center, has lots of width from end to end. Get on top of that one though, and I just think she's plainer. In terms of her pattern, gets handling that one and just doesn't have as much shape and definition as our class winner. Young man that's coming in third has one that's very sound as you set that one in motion. Got plenty of range of motion and is flexible on the go. Unfortunately, that one just reads a touch frailer at the ground, reads with less width off either end of his skeleton. Let's congratulate these young people in our second class.
Congratulations to Class 2. Third place, Jax Baca. Second place, Alec Baca. And your Class 2 winner goes to Hope Vernier.
Yeah, it's showmanship, market, reading.
Class 3, Mariah McGraw and Alec Baca. Connor McGraw, Alec Baca. Hope Vernier and Alec Baca, you should be ready to go following this class. Following our market show will be our open class, and we currently have Reed Minsick in class.
Congratulations to the Class 2 winner, Hope Vernier, followed by Alec Baca and Jax Baca. Here is class number 3, as you heard Miss Maxey. It's Mariah McGraw and Alec Baca. Alec with 3 entries in the market classes this year. Mariah's lamb weighs in at 138, while Alex comes in a little bit heavier at 142. Heavyweight class, we will have the grand drive immediately after this class.
Yes, sir. And for this grand drive, they've actually invited the first and second placers from each of the classes in. But, you know, you got me thinking about that sheep's little haircut right there. And I think as part of the showmanship, we need to have the showman match their animal's haircut.
I think that's great. You know, it's almost a Princess Leia-like haircut on those sheep, you know, with the little buns by the ear.
You know, I mean, as far as Mr. Alec Baca, I don't know what his hair preferences are, but I feel like he could rock the little Princess Leia buns, you know, I think. The showman can make it happen. I don't know how you replicate the furry legs, though. Maybe we break out, like, the leg warmers from the
Maybe
from the
some
80s.
1980s leg warmers. I think that would be an excellent addition.
Just all becomes part of the attire.
Alec and Mariah doing a great job out there showcasing their animals. The theme of the fair this year is Tropical Paradise, so maybe we'll get some camera work. A lot of the fair superintendents, folks around are kind of wearing the Hawaiian print shirts here at the fair, bringing a little island vibe to the county fair.
You know, I do really appreciate the fact that they've had lots of fun themes for the last several years at fair. I know that there was a, oh goodness, they always do such a good job.
What if we had like a pirate fair?
Ooh, that would be good. Walk your animals over
on the
plain.
high seas.
There you go.
Bonus points if you have a parrot on your shoulder in the show ring with your animal.
I think we would need to invest in, I don't know, bird paint for some of the chickens. We could paint them up like parrots. We can make that happen.
Looks like Alec Baca's going to win this one. Let's hear from the
Well, this is our last class of the market show here, and I think our young man brings us one that just reads with less problems in terms of a market animal for me. Get on top of that one, he's leaner in terms of his handle, more descript about his shape. And now I'm not going to tell you that this sheep is perfect. Set him in motion, and I would like to see him more athletic about the way he utilizes his hip and hind leg. I'd like to see him just a touch more extended in terms of the way his neck comes out of the front side of his shoulder. But with that being said, he just reads to be the better market animal of the pair. The young lady here in second brings us one that has a strong first impression out of the gate. I mean, this thing is extremely athletic and has lots of range of motion when you set him on the go. You get on top of that one, though, and I just think he's a bit overdone. He reads softer to the touch. Study that one from the side. He's more pushed out about his chest and just doesn't read with the same meat animal shape that I find in our class winner. Let's congratulate the last class of lambs here today.
Congratulations to our Class 3. Second place, Mariah McGraw. First place, Alec Baca. Just a reminder to those of you that are going to be selling, you need to make sure immediately following the show you go pick up your sales slips located in the old concession stand in the livestock barn and get those turned in. As we proceed to our market drive for sheep from Class 1, we need Alec Baca. And second place, Connor McGraw. From Class 2, Hope Vernier and Alec Baca. From Class 3, Alec Baca and Mariah McGraw. Our photographers working on their backdrop, but they are wanting to make sure that you know that you take pictures this morning with your animals after the show so that you can give those. So JC standing here in the show ring in the black shirt will be the photographer. So you need to make sure you connect with her after the show if you're planning to sell so you can make sure that you get your photos taken. This morning we want to thank some of our sponsors. As you know, the fair would not be possible if we did not have them. Our silver sponsors this year are the LARCC Cattle Company, Los Animas County Health Department, Sunflower Hill Taxidermy and the Wilson family, Topar Trailer Sales, Trinidad Animal Clinic, and Ogress Operating LLC. Please give our silver sponsors a round of applause for all they did for the fair.
It's grand drive time. That's what we need. We need like a little cool on-screen graphic of like a big rig truck peeling out. Let's see what Judge Miller likes today and who he ultimately is going to give that big purple ribbon to.
Well, we get out here for your grand drive of the market show, and would y'all please just help me in congratulating all these kids in your grand drive? Well, like I said earlier, first of all, I just want to thank the crew here at Los Animas County for inviting me out to judge your sheep show. And before I select your grand champion, I just want to give credit where it's due. the reason that we're all here is because of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and there's no doubt that we can lose sight of that pretty easy here in the show animal world. We get going a million miles an hour, doing 100 different things for our kids and these animals, and it's easy to lose sight of what's really important, and that's serving the Lord. So I just want to give credit where it's due, like I said. With that being said, I'll get back to your animals, though. And there's one out here that really just puts the pieces together for me. This one reads the most complete in terms of combining look from the side. Great, really, really balances up well from the profile. Reads stout in terms of his feet and legs, and still offers plenty of width and boldness in terms of his center body. Lots of shape when you get over the top side of his skeleton. Young ladies, middleweight will be your champion.
Thank you.
It's Hope Vernier with the back-to-back repeat grand champion performances here in 2025 and then last year in 2024. Let's see who Judge Miller picks for reserve. Looking there at both Jax and Alec Baca. Another lamb by Alec Baca there, shown by Jacqueline Rogers.
There we go. All right. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. Well, we dropped that second place out of our middleweight class, and there's no doubt that this thing has some value. I talked boldness as center. Really appreciate that one for just being smooth about the look from the profile. You drop him out here with these other two, though, and I talked in class. Just don't think that one has quite the definition over the top side of his skeleton. Doesn't have the power that these other two do in terms of meat animal value. But for my reserve, it's between our lightweight and our heavyweight. This one out of the first class, I really, really appreciate the front end of this one. Super extended, balances up very well from the side, and just reads super sound on the move. Still, I think has plenty of width and spread off either end of his skeleton, off either end of her skeleton for that age and weight. And then we talk our heavyweight. That one is just super lean and powerful when you get right on top of him. I also talked in class, I'd like to extend that one, make it more attractive through the front third of his body, and I'd like to see him just go with a little more flex and ease off either end of his skeleton when we get him in motion. There's differences. For me, I prefer the lightweight. Young man with the lightweight.
This little boy right here. Yes. You got what? Reserve?
That way. I'm not sure.
Congratulations to our winner. Our grand champion market sheep goes to Hope Vernier. And we'd like to thank our sponsor for the grand champion buckle, Ronnie and Tammy Mack. If you give them a round of applause. And then our reserve grand champion sheep goes to Jax Bacca. And that buckle is sponsored by LARCC Trucking, the Farindellis. So let's give them a big round of applause. I apologize. Sorry, your reserve grand champion goes to Alec. So good job, guys. Congratulations.
Los Animas County Fair would like to thank our gold sponsors, Black Bear Hardware, Branson School Online, Cam Cummings Trucking LLC, CarQuest Trinidad, Coley's Cakes and Pastries, Comey Funeral Home, Sinmar LLC, Justin David Incorporated, LARCC Trucking, Loose Arrow Angus, Mount San Rafael Hospital, Oasis Water Delivery LLC, The Water Station, and Wilkinson Gelbvieh Ranch. Again, thank you to our gold sponsors. Let's give them a round of applause. Again, an announcement that please make sure you get your sales slips located in the old concession in the livestock barn if you plan to sell your animal. Sale pictures need to be complete with J.C. Sumter so that they can be provided to the buyers. Following our market show now, we're going to move into our open class. So Reed Minsick needs to be getting ready. After our open, we'll move to breeding and we'll start with our ewe lambs. So Alec Baca and Jax Baca need to be ready to go.
All right, folks, here's our open class. I believe they said this was Reese Baca. Is that correct?
Reese Minsick.
Oh, huh?
I think was it Minsick? I think it was a Minsick.
Oh, okay. We don't have that one on our spreadsheet of information here, so just trying to listen in on the entry names. Definitely going to win this class and going to win the Cute Award.
Yes, sir. The open classes are just great. This lamb is being very well behaved for little Reese, and you never know what you're going to get for the open classes sometimes, but doing real good right here.
Glad we've got Jax Baca in there making sure everything goes according to plan.
Of course, of course.
Reese doing a pretty good job there.
He's got that sheep right where he wants him.
I think it's always fun watching the youngest showmen get in. You know, they often will put in nearly as much work as some of the senior showmen in terms of taking care of those animals and having fun with them and walking them and getting ready for fair. And sometimes those older brothers and sisters, sometimes they pawn those chores off onto the younger ones. Just an observation.
Well, you know, in my experience, it's a rite of passage. You know, it's just like, oh, I don't feel like getting out this. Can you go take care of the animals? Just like, you're obligated as the younger sibling to do so. No, not being a younger sibling myself, I can't say I ever passed my chores off on my brothers. But, you know, I'm not saying it didn't happen.
And sometimes it goes the other way. Sometimes the younger ones pass it off to the older ones. It's an equal opportunity passing of the buck.
We get out here in our open class, and this ewe is very high quality. She reads with lots of length and extension off either end of her body and reads very correct in terms of her angles and lines. More importantly, let's just congratulate this young man on a great job of showmanship today.
Well done, Reed Minsick. Congratulations to our clover bud this morning. We're going to move on to our breeding sheep. So we have Alec Baca and Jax Baca. To round out our breeding show, we will have our aged ram, and that will be Alec Baca, so that individual needs to be getting ready to go. As our day continues to unfold, just to let everybody know, at 11 o'clock we'll have our goat show right back here. At 12 o'clock will be the dog show over in the expo. And then back here tonight at 5 o'clock is the beef show. In conclusion with our sponsors this year, we had our platinum level sponsors, and we'd like to give a big round of applause to Colorado Farm Bureau, Salapitch Agency LLC, Jacom Catalyst LLC, Jared Meyer Land Team, Whitetail Properties, and Kathy Scott, Realtor Code of the West. Thank you again to our platinum, gold, and silver sponsors this year. If you're sticking around today, we have a 4-H club here that is going to be selling concessions. They're going to have hamburgers, they've got pop, they've got pickles, they have all kinds of good things. So stick around and support our local 4-Hers here at our concession stand.
It looks like we got the Baca brothers.
I heard the breeding classes, and Alec Baca's lamb got away from me real quick, but I think we had the catch of the day made by Blake Olguin on this right side of your screen. He just caught that lamb right by the neck. It wasn't getting nowhere past old Blake.
You know, maybe he can translate some of that into tackling those offensive players in the football season. Blake Olguin, one of the standout defenders for the Branson Bearcat football team.
Indeed, if any of them have excessively furry legs and little hair around the ears, then he'll have them dead to rights.
You know, that's not impossible. That could be a thing. You never know. Hard to see the furry ears underneath those football helmets, though.
So true. Maybe they get it sticking out of the ear holes. Then we'll know.
Now, that one would kind of surprise me. You usually don't see ear hair until you kind of get up around my age or a little beyond.
You know, in the new eras of helmet protection, I think we need to introduce the Princess Leia safety pads. You know, I think that would be the way to bring this fashion trend. Exactly, yes.
Fashion and safety all in one with the Leia.
Exactly. Guardian caps? Nah. Sheep hats? For sure.
Baca boys doing a really nice job here with this couple of ewes. Judge Miller moving to the mic. Looks like he's made his decision. Nope, the mic went back in the pocket. Still trying to pick his top. Here he comes.
Well, we get out here for our breeding show, and there's just one class. Got a pair of them out here that are very, very different in terms of type and kind. The young man in the purple's got one that's very extended up front, lots of length throughout that one's body, reads very level about her top line and hip design. And you set that one in motion, and she can get out and move with plenty of flex and ease. At the same time, you get off either end of that U, and I think she closes up at the base of her skeleton. She gives up a significant amount of width and just overall volume in comparison to the one that we have here, the young man in the green. Whereas this one is one who I really appreciate for her power pieces. I mean, that thing is cracked open over the top side of her skeleton, bold in terms of her center body, and just reads with plenty of width and mass throughout. I would like to see that one just a touch more extended and elegant and feminine about her front third. Would like to see her extended and lengthened about her hip just a touch. Ultimately, I see the bigger difference in terms of width and volume. The young man in the green will be your champion.
Congratulations to our breeding sheep. Our reserve grand champion went to Jax Baca, and our grand champion goes to Alec Baca. We would like to give a big, warm thank you to Moore Ranch for sponsoring the buckle. Thank you, Mr. Moore and family. Following our ram show and rounding out our sheep show this morning, our 4-H Foundation Farmhouse store will be opening over in the pavilion. So make sure you check that out before you leave today. Our aged ram 2 years and older is being shown this morning by Alec Baca. Just a quick reminder, we do have concessions. Come support the Red Rocks 4-H. They've got hamburgers and all kinds of things, so stay put for lunch here today. Again, the 4-H Foundation Farmhouse will be opening after the show over in the pavilion. And one more time, don't forget to get those sale slips filled out and submitted so that you are ready to go for the sale. And do not forget to connect with JC Sumter to do your sale pictures for your buyers. Once again, the goat show will be starting at 11 o'clock.
All right, for those of you watching at home, if you are near the Trinidad area and want to stop by the fair, there is a lot going on that Ms. Tammy Mack mentioned. There is a 4-H Foundation marketplace with a lot of wonderful donated goods, some of them handcrafted, some of them things from local area businesses, all donated to be part of an auction, and some of them are buy now objects, some of them are up for auction. All proceeds going to the 4-H Foundation. Alec Baca again with a good-looking ram here in the ring. Yeah, if you want to come down and hang out at the fair, a lot going on. Tomorrow will be the poultry and swine show, and then Saturday will be the market sale at 6 o'clock in the evening. But early on in the day will be the round robin showmanship contest, which has become one of my personal favorites. It's, oh shoot, there he goes again.
All right, we get out here for our ram show, and first of all, I just want to give these boys a round of applause for all their hard work they've put in today. And there's only one in this class, but it doesn't take away from the quality. I mean, this thing is masculine, stout about his appearance. He's got plenty of boldness. His center's opened up about his rib cage. Now, I'm not going to tell you he's perfect. Get that one in motion, and I would like to see him just a touch stronger in behind his shoulders and level out about his top line, but that's getting nitpicky on a stout, complete type of ram here today. Let's give these kids another round of applause.
Congratulations to Alec Baca on his Grand Champion ram. Thank you to everybody for attending our sheep show this morning. Have a great rest of the morning, and we'll see you back at 11 o'clock.
All right, that's going to conclude our sheep show. As we said before, about an hour and a half from now is when the market goat show is set to begin. So please plan on joining us for that. It should be a whole lot of fun. All right, we'll be right back.